This is Average Joe PT, and on this episode, we're going to talk specifically about a muscle in your shoulder that actually is causing a lot of your headaches right up in this area. So let's go ahead and get started. And that specific muscle that I'm talking about is called your levator scapula. And that muscle essentially runs all the way from your top of your shoulder blade, runs all the way up along your neck muscle here. Now, why is that muscle so important? And why is it causing all this pain? As you can see, it starts in the shoulder blade. It's very long and runs all the way up into your neck. And a lot of times you're having that shoulder-neck pain combination that's giving you a headache. And a lot of that's coming from this area right here. And that essentially what you want to do, some 3 or 4 treatment techniques. One technique is always you want to ice it. You want to do that for 15 to 20 minutes, 3 or 4 times a day, for at least 4 or 5 days to really get this pain to calm down. Stay away from doing deep tissue massage of this thing, trying to really dig into that early on, because that's going to cause a lot of inflammation, cause more pain than not. It's going to feel good while you're doing it, and then afterwards it's really going to start hurting again, because there's another little trick in this area, and they're called trigger points. Now I'm going to leave, you can go ahead and look under my neck category book, and it goes over all types of treatment techniques and why active versus passive trigger points are very important in this area. So you go ahead and you go look at that one. I'll leave a picture for you. And you have to make sure, like I said, you don't dig into this too much because you'll give yourself headaches. So early on, if you start having pain in your shoulder blade neck area, ice it, some anti-inflammatories, and give it a few days. Let's say third day, that sweet 72 hours later, then you can start to do some gentle massage to the area, either with a ball, or you can use, have someone come in there and you can actually just dig right on yourself. You kind of zoom in here, my fingers, you can literally see where I'm rubbing it, and it's literally right on top of the shoulder blade area where that muscle. It might feel a little crunchy, and that's okay. You want to work that back and forth for a good 3 to 5 minutes. Do that a couple times a day, and then ice afterwards for a good 10, 15 minutes. So that way it'll really start to get some blood flow in the area to start to work that tissue and loosen it back up again. The overall arching issue is why is it happening in the first place? More times than not, it's because you're looking down, you have that poor slump posture a lot of times, and you're over elongating that muscle that starts from your shoulder blade and attaching into that neck area. That overstretching position can really get this thing inflamed and start everything in your mid-back area having pain, even down into your swollen socket of your shoulder itself too. Just from that particular muscle group, it can be really bad. It can actually run up even the side of the neck here if it gets bad enough. So treatment number 1 is icing. Treatment number 2 is that massage technique after 72 hours. Treatment number 3 is making sure your posture, okay, if you are sitting, if you are looking down, give yourself breaks. I wouldn't want to be looking down more than 5 or 6, 7 minutes at a time. Acutely after that second, third day, week or 2, and then start to work your way up again. But always be mindful that if you start having some pain in that area again, you want to dial back all that looking down at your phones, your tablets, and looking at your computer and stuff like that. So that's a nice 3 or 4 treatment techniques that you'll want to do when it comes to that levator scapular muscle giving you a lot of pain in this area. If you guys have any questions, I'd love to hear them from you guys, positive or negative. I'll go ahead and leave a comment. But until next time, Scully and I always say, look up and keep smiling. See you next time, folks.